The bus rapid transit has been in operation for 6 years, and it has had its own share of ups and downs. Good evening, I am Kate Harmony.
Good evening and welcome. I am Obafemi Craig. Tonight on the program, we'll be discussing 6 years of the Bus Rapid Transit BRT. Join us after the break.
This is a news update on Lamata Half Hour. The Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, Lamata, will ensure that the rehabilitation of the BRT lanes on Ikorodu Road will be carried out with respect for traffic movement. Director of Roads and Traffic Management, Engineer Olufunsho Elulade, stated this at the inaugural meeting of the project team for the rehabilitation works. He spoke on the responsibility of each member of the team and expressed the hope that everyone would be up and doing to ensure that the project does not aggravate the traffic congestion on Ikorodu Road.
Even if what he's doing or she is doing is wrong, all you need to do is to contact the project manager. Or I'm sure the project engineer will always be on site on a daily basis. So she may be your first point of call because you may not be seeing him because of other responsibilities all the time on site. So she may be the first point of contact. So of course, I know she will liaise with him. So whatever it is, please let us relate to them and all problems will be resolved.
The Managing Director of the Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, Lamata, Dr. Dayo Mobirola, has visited the new market built for the plantain sellers of Agility Road area, Mile 12. The plantain sellers were temporarily relocated to Mile 12 from Tejosho following the fire outbreak at the market, which necessitated its rebuilding. The space where the plantain sellers currently occupy at the Mile 12 has been earmarked for the Mile 12 terminal of the BRT extension from Mile 12 to Ikorodu. Dr. Mobirola expressed satisfaction with the work done on the new site and hoped that the plantain sellers would guard and maintain the facilities provided for them. And that was a news update. Please stay tuned.
Basically, what Lamata does is to coordinate public transportation in Lagos State, and we came up with a transport master plan.
Developed together with the World Bank, the objective of this plan is finding long-lasting solutions for the problem of transportation in Lagos. Currently under its first steps of development, the plan has already proven itself a big success, dramatically increasing the connectivity in a city in continuous expansion and enjoying an unparalleled demographic and economic growth.
Our responsibility is to ensure that we provide the necessary infrastructure to meet the growth, to improve the quality of life, to improve the standard of living, and to make Lagos a vibrant and livable city in years to come.
Lamata, think transport.
The Bus Rapid Transit, which kicked off in 2008, is a transport option which relies on the use of dedicated interference-free lanes to guarantee safe and reliable bus travel. Craig went on the move to feel the pulse of the commuters along the BRT corridor. Let's see this.
Lagos State Government, in its quest to improve mobility in the state, began the implementation of a Bus Rapid Transit BRT system in 2006 and eventually began operation in March 2008. The decision to implement the BRT was influenced by the report of a delegation of stakeholders who visited some cities in Latin America where the BRT had been implemented and operated effectively. The state government, desirous of a world-class transport system for Lagos, had raised delegation to visit different parts of the world in search of best practice in public transport system that will be integrated and meets the Lagos condition. One of the cities visited, Bogota in Colombia, made a lasting impression on the delegation. Bogota the capital of Colombia, is served by Transmilenio, the main BRT operator in the capital city. The delegation visited the facilities of Transmilenio, which was inspired by Curitiba's Rede Integrada de Transporte, translating to mean Integrated Transportation Network. On return to Lagos, a steering committee to bring up the idea of a BRT system for the state was set up. The committee cut across ministries and agencies of the state government, transport unions, especially the National Union of Road Transport Workers. The journey to the BRT implementation began with the presentation of the conceptual design by Messrs. Integrated Transport Planning, a United Kingdom-based company which guided Lamata through the implementation of the project. The Lamata management presented the conceptual design to the State Executive Council during the regime of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as governor. The state government promptly embraced the transport system, supported Lamata in the implementation of the project through funding and other political support. The BRT project, spanning a distance of 22 kilometers between Mile 12 and CMS, was completed in 15 months, a record period of delivery when compared to other BRT projects in the world. In spite of the initial pessimism expressed by Lagosians on the project, they soon began to see the advantages of the BRT when operations commenced.
What is the experience like?
Well, it has eased the communal transport system in Lagos.
Let me just say they are really trying.
When you go through the BRT, you can assure of your destination at the right time.
There's no go slow for them. If somebody is going, you don't have anything to disturb you on the road.
For the first time in years, it was now possible to predict the time a bus will arrive and an estimated time to get to destination. An evaluation of the system after a year in operation revealed that the BRT has cut down journey time, reduced emission by some 13%, and improved commuting in urban areas. Congestion along the corridor was also reduced since car owners had dropped their cars and were now using the BRT. Within a space of 6 years, further improvements are being added to the BRT. The government, in July 2013, launched an electronic ticketing system, the payment platform which is projected to be used on other modes of transport under a unified integrated transport system. Today, over 260 million passengers have been carried by the system, which has also provided over 5,000 jobs to Lagosians directly and indirectly. Currently, the system is being extended from Mile 12 to Ikorodu town, given the level of success and acceptance of the system. With the extension, an addition of 13.5 kilometers will be added to the current 22-kilometer corridor. With the plan to extend the system to other parts of the state and its integration with other modes of transportation, such as the rail and water systems, Lamata is on course to keep Lagos moving.
What advice will you give Lamata and the operator of the BRT system for improved service delivery?
The ticketing idea, I think they should continue with the card and the normal ticket because of the literacy level in the country.
The major thing really for me is customer service and improvement on the buses.
The ticketers, they require better PR orientation.
My own advice is there should be a provision of more buses.
Thank you so very much for your time with us.
You're welcome, sir.
Away from On the Move, we delve into our main discussion for today. 6 years of BRT, we shall be discussing its successes and challenges. Our guest for today holds a PhD in transport geography. He has managed the first successful bus rapid transit BRT in sub-Saharan Africa. Our guest, Dr. Desmond Amiebebo, Deputy Director, Bus Services, Lamata. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Since the BRT started operation How have you been able to manage the major stakeholders in the system?
Well, the major stakeholder in the system comprises the NURTW, the public, the various government parastatals. Our management strategy has been anchored on dialogues, meetings, and various seminars as the case may be. So that's the way we'll be managing them.
But then can you give a picture of how the BRT works, especially with the PPP arrangement?
Well, I want you to say, to add additional P.
Okay.
Yeah, because R is beyond PPP. It's actually PPP, P in 4 places. Public, private, partnership, professional.
Okay.
Yeah, we provide the professional angle. That is where we demonstrate our expertise in terms of planning, in terms of service specification, in terms of design. Now, in terms of the private sector, they are the one that provide the rolling stock. They are the one that recruit, manage, and train crew. In terms of government, that is the public, they are the one that actually provide the infrastructure using Lamata. That the government provide infrastructure, provide the funds, and the Lamata now carry out the professional expertise aspect of, making sure that all these various 3 Ps, they all come together to produce the expected outcome.
How have you been able to manage the system for 6 years?
Well, managing the system for 6 years has been with various, whether you can use the words up and down. Yes.
I like that.
Yes, up and down. Yeah, you go up, you go down, because, you know, like you rightly said, it's a novelty, something that is new in this part of the world. And in terms of managing the system, we have been engaging the private sector, the private operator, those who were concessioned to run the route, to run the service. We have been able to bring them, because one key aspect about it is transformation, trying to get this informal sector to understand the dynamics that are involved in running a service of this magnitude. And that has always been an issue. We have to deal with training. We have to deal with enlightenment, enlightening the public as well as enlightening the private sector. Then we have to also do with a lot of support. For example, in the BRT, what we did was to second some of our staff to them, that on-the-job secondment, where these staff work with them about bus scheduling, work with them on maintenance, work with them on various crew management concepts.
So what challenges did you encounter in the last 6 years of BRT?
Well, the challenges we encountered can be classified under the following. Number one, the infrastructure. We've encountered challenges with damages to infrastructure, where you have vehicles running to bus shelter, and then that has to do with, that are now will expose Lamata to further, to expenditures, repair, and at long run, you discover that the cost of maintaining those infrastructure is going beyond the budget. Then another key challenge under infrastructure is a failure of infrastructure, because you see the infrastructure on that corridor, that is a BRT lane and then the service lane, we had at a point in time come up with a kind of a rehabilitation exercise. As we speak now, because of the infrastructure failure, we are now trying to change the asphalt pavement to rigid pavement. Then another key challenge we have to, we have also encountered is the challenge of managing the public in terms of service orientation, usage. One thing is to provide the service. Another thing is for the users to understand how to use the service.
Exactly.
So we face challenges with the users being able or having having difficulty to queuing. For example, in Lagos, we are used to a kind of a disorganized system where when the bus arrives, we want to jump this one, want to run into a bus and this. But right now, we are managing the challenge of people, but as it is now, we are managing the challenge of people being able to queue for the service. Then another key challenge also has to do with people's treatment, what I can call courtesy to the crew.
How do you mean?
Yeah, what I mean by that is assault on drivers and the general crew in the boat. We've had challenges with that over time. People want the driver to run speed beyond the stipulated speed limit. I mean, recklessness is quite high. Some of the drivers, they drive recklessly. Some of them, they run the excessive speed. Some of them, there's no vehicle sympathy in terms of vehicle handling.
Okay.
So these are challenges. Then another aspect of the challenge, which is very, very critical, is the operator's challenge, which has to do with maintenance of the buses.
Okay.
Because, these buses are on the road fixing urban intensive use. And as a result, they require strong maintenance support to be able to make them reliable and sustainable. And driving that is quite a challenge to the operator, because you are talking about maintenance tooling, you are talking about personnel capability, you are talking about expertise, you are talking about space, then you are talking about spares, and the spares available, and then change of model. When we started the BROT in 2008, the model of those buses has changed. And now the problem of interchanging the spare parts between the current model and the other one is also a challenge.
So in spite of all these challenges, would you say that the BRT is still relevant in Lagos?
Absolutely relevant, because when you look at the number of passengers, because the business of the BRT is the business of carrying people. And the number of people that the BRT has carried so far since its inception is about 260 million.
Yeah.
Yes, and then when you have such a huge number of people using a particular line, a particular service, that is quite, that tell you by sources. Now, another key thing that made the BRT relevant on that corridor. Now, globally, urban traffic growth rate is about 3%. So from that 2018 now the growth rate of traffic on that corridor alone, if not for the BRT presence on that corridor, by now that corridor will be a gridlock.
Okay.
So in terms of easing up traffic, the BRT is relevant. In terms of emission reduction, because you think about the number of downforce and vehicle that one unit of BRT bus will take off the road. That's about 6 buses. So you discover that is makes it relevant. Then in terms of security as well, when you talk about security, public transit security, where you have one chance, people get into the bus, they are robbed. You don't get that on the BRT.
Oh, yeah, that used to be the old Lagos story.
Yeah,
yes.
basically.
Until the transformation.
Until the transformation. So you discover that the BRT still remained relevant, and I think the relevance is, the public appreciate its relevance. And that is why they are still patronizing the BRT despite emerging challenges to date.
Dr. Desmond will continue from here after the break. Stay tuned. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Our guest, Dr. Amiegbebo, has been speaking on 6 years of BRT. Now it's time to take your questions, contributions, and suggestions.
Why is it that most of the buses today, they get it full to the brim?
That actually is a signal, it's an indication of the fact that the buses on the corridor are grossly inadequate. Principally, addressing that issue, the operators has, I think that was in the late last year, about November, they got in about 50 buses to join the existing fleet. As we speak now, the operators are also planning. They are almost about 90% ready to add to the fleet of buses on the corridor. When the circulation of the buses are enough on the corridor, when the frequency is dominant, that is regular, you're going to have people having enough buses, and then the issue of people hanging on the door will be minimized.
People complain bitterly about the issue of the e-ticketing system compared to the paper that they tear at the terminals. What are the drastic changes that has been made to ensure, to make sure that transportation delivery services are being made easy for people?
To help those trip makers on that corridor is that we are introducing ITS, that is Intelligent Transport System. Now, Intelligent Transport System is actually a family, it's a father with many children. And one of the children of Intelligent Transport System is this electronic card. That is the payment module of the Intelligent Transport System. Now, other as children in that family, you have Customer Information System, CIS. Now, this Customer Information System is when you get to a bus stop, you have a LED display telling you that the next bus stop will arrive 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes, a minute until you see the bus with you. In other words, waiting time is predictable. Apart from that, the CIS component is that there will be onboard announcement. There are some people, instead of dropping at Maryland, they go and drop at Obanikoro. You have on the bus telling you that the next bus stop is Obanikoro, the next bus stop is Fadeyi, and what have you. So, from what we are doing, you discover that it is actually customer service oriented to give you, to aid your trip, to aid your plan, to minimize wastage of time, and not to secure your money.
Well, it is on this note we conclude the question and answer session. And of course, over to you, Kate.
Thank you, Craig. So, Dr. Mebebo, what are your parting words to our viewers at home?
Well, my parting word is that despite seemingly challenges that the BROT operation is facing, we'll discover that the benefits are real, and I will appeal to the public to continually support the vision, because it is meant to actually address the challenge of mobility on that corridor.
Well, it's been a pleasure having you on Lamata Half Hour today.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And we'll be right back after the break.
To find out more about us, use the details now appearing on your screen. We'd love to hear from you. Every member of our audience will receive a loaded Lagos Connect card.
Till next week,
Lamata.
Lagos, my home. With Lamata, Lagos is changing for the best. BRT lanes, modern rail lines, pedestrian